Here are the top posts from relationships on the 16th of October 2019.
Throwaway 85,257. Update. I. 24F. Have a crush on a guy. 29M. At my grad school, I've been with my fiancé. 25M. For 5 years. How do I get rid of the crush?
Identity Nagini. Something I learned when I was going through a similar thing in my long-term relationship. Most of the time when you have a crush on someone else, there's something you find attractive in them that might be missing in your relationship. When I had a crush on someone, I took a hard look at my relationship and realized it was the spontaneity that I felt was missing. So I went to my boyfriend and we came up with a plan to spice things up going forward. The crush went away by itself. Just some food for thought. Raven. This is such a positive update. It's good to hear that the advice helped you out. Just a day in the life. How did you go about talking to your fiancé about this beforehand, just out of curiosity? Jin I the Pooh. I, 34F, am a hobby baker. I suspect a friend of mine is mad at me for charging her for a cake.
Internet Shell. I used to have a business and always had this problem with friends. My advice first of all is to be consistent with whether you charge or not. I would always charge unless I was going to an event where I made it clear this was my gift, and not bringing another one on top of it, or contribution, like a potluck. This makes it easier and people know what to expect. Second, never feel bad about charging, and if your friends do try, don't feel bad about breaking down not just the financial cost but the time investment. Sometimes, they just don't realize what goes into it. If this friend is mad at you for it, that's her problem, monsieur.
Fear is like fire. I wonder if she thought that since you didn't discuss the cost beforehand that you had decided to do it for free. She could have been caught off guard, especially if you made a more elaborate cake than she expected to pay for. If you want to extend an olive branch, you could let her know that you are still navigating how to manage your baking since it's new to you, and it does have both a material cost and a time cost associated with it, but that you have learned from this to discuss payment amounts up front. I'd suggest either eating the cost as the price of a lesson learned if you really want to offer a gesture of goodwill, or ask her for the cost of the supplies used for the cake. Real witty username. Question. Was the actual price of the cakes agreed to ahead of time, or did you do the work based on her blanket statement that she would pay for them?
Jackia. I, 26F, have begun sleeping in a separate bed to my 28M fiancé and he's upset about it. Ginger Lorax. Your fiancé needs to see another doctor. Excessive night sweats every night is not normal.
C176A. Seems like a doctor issue, not normal.
Player Dangarabbit. 1. He should see a doctor. 2. Sleep is important. One of the best things I ever did was get my own blanket. When one of us is sick and snoring, the other sleeps on a pull-out in the living room so we can function the next day. Cuddles are provided as needed. It works well. Maybe cuddle with him at the beginning of the night. Then give him a kiss and go to your bed. In the morning, pop into the shared bedroom, monsieur. Still have that be the spot you read together in bed, etc., etc.
Sick, love that. My F18, mom, F50, is a hoarder and I think she might consider me an item, monsieur.
Tiny should of me. Taking your wages is financial abuse. Do you have other family or friends you could stay with long term? My dad is a hoarder. 2. There's never money for his kids, but there's always funding for his next project, hobby, obsession.
Finite. Hoarding is largely about control. Do a bit of research into the mindsets behind hoarding and you'll probably get a better idea of her mental state. Until you do that, general rules. Don't remove anything from the piles. Don't sell anything. Don't interact with her stuff at all if you can help it until you're ready to give her an ultimatum, monsieur. Unless part of the hoarding is also a lack of cleanliness. Common. You're probably okay to stay there for a while. You need to focus on gently setting up independence for yourself. You need your own bank account, opened by yourself, that she has no access to. I suggest Ally. They're online so you don't have to worry about going into a branch. Pull your credit report to make sure she didn't open anything in your name, and dispute everything if she did. Become familiar with your city's public transit options. It's very likely that she will take things poorly when you tell her you're taking steps to independence. That's okay. All parents that care about their children struggle a bit with finding the right time to let go. What won't be okay is if she shuts you down. Taking your income is already financial abuse. If she turns to other types of abuse, seek out a women's shelter for the night or for a few days.
Unpleasant stuff. First thing you need to do is open a new bank account, somewhere your mother has never banked. Without paper documents if you can, so you can keep your money safe. Our personal finance has information you will need. Your mother is a hoarder. Even with professional help, it's a disorder that's difficult to deal with. It seems to be partially heritable, so watch out for OCD symptoms in yourself. It's well beyond Reddit's ability or yours to deal with. What you can do is escape from this environment. When you've got a new job and some money saved up, you're looking for a room, not an apartment.
Swisha yabisha. Wife brought me lunch, a cake and a balloon to my job for my birthday. I was noticeably cold and it hurt her feelings. What should I do? Married 6 months together, did 6 years.
Everyone likes kittens. Wife did something really nice and thoughtful. But it wasn't nice and thoughtful because you told her last year you didn't like that kind of thing. Someone who is truly being nice and thoughtful doesn't keep doing things you've told him you don't like. She can hardly be surprised you are nonplussed.
Drovianch. If you told her directly that you didn't like this type of show last year, then I can see why you wouldn't be totally excited about it this year. I would talk to her about that.
Alphacanically. I told her I didn't really like it last year when she did the same thing. This is on your wife. She's being really selfish here by trying to turn your birthday into what she wants. There's a really sweet episode of Parks and Rec. The main character is known for throwing extravagant, over-the-top celebrations, especially for birthdays. She finds out her boss's birthday and he's terrified of what she's going to do because he hates that style of party and being the center of attention like that. She sets him up in a private room with his favorite meal, his favorite drink, his favorite movie, quietly tells him happy birthday and leaves him to enjoy his birthday in peace and solitude. It's perfect. Exactly what he wanted. My point being, it doesn't matter what your wife enjoys doing for your birthday. She should care about you and what you want for your birthday. If it was the first time, that's one thing. You told her last year that you don't appreciate this. I was really hoping for just one day to not feel like a total fuck-up. Anyways, any suggestions? Therapy. If you genuinely feel like a total fuck-up every day, maybe couples counseling to work on the major lack of communication. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.